Hello everyone and welcome back to Wargame Red Dragon. Today we have something a little bit interesting for you guys. It is a 3v3 on the 2v2 version of Highway to Seoul. Now I do prefer the 2v2 version for most 3v3 games. I think the actual 3v3 becomes a bit of a... I don't know, there's 3 lanes, right, because it merges that zone and then you have fighting over on the left, but it's such a big map, honestly, and yeah, it's such a big map. But because we are such a short game today, I'm going to go over a little bit of the intended deployment. Ooh, there we go. So my stuff is mostly going to be headed up into Delta, and then the idea was for Bob to be going over in the right, and for Canadian to be going over in the left, as you can see from that lovely little Canadian flag there. And let's switch over to my point of view. And here's the thing. You can already see it coming. Look at this. 1, 2, we had some recent artillery on the openers. That was, I guess, one of my allies recently, although I didn't know the fellow, and this is the Karma smacking me back in the face. So let's take a look at all of this stuff as we were trying to get out of the way. And I mean, that's my opener, that's both my allies' openers. Look at that cluster. Whole piles of stuns. Oh, man. Brutal stuff. I think they had something like 4 or 5 artillery pieces all firing at once, right? So, yeah, that's not great. Surprisingly enough, Rifle's rifle jeeps made it right on through, as did the Hachinoshikis. They were just fast enough to get through there. So at that point, one of my allies surrenders, not because we didn't think that we could necessarily come back from that, just because, I mean, it's a bit of a game that nobody wants to play, right? So Canadian surrenders as well, and it's just me, so all of this stuff has turned blue, and, well, I stayed in, and we're gonna see what happens, right? So I figured, okay, there's way too much stuff here for me to actually micro, because even with all the losses we took, this is about 2.5 times what I would normally have at the start of a game. So it all just got fast moved in 2 sections, one of them down the highway, then the other one on the right, down this side. And we're going to take a couple of Peace Pheasant ones. I immediately got about 400 points, and keep in mind, I now get triple availability and triple point gain. And I really want to get rid of these helicopters, so let's see if Peace Pheasants can actually do it. And I'm kind of surprised, no. We definitely did get a stun. And, I mean, a couple of guns online, that's not too bad. Hachinoshikis might even be able to clean up the T-190, since it doesn't really have a main gun. And, I don't know, this was a bit of a... So we get the Cap and Bravo, I'm starting to pull stuff out. All of this needs to move forward, it's just... Look at all of this. There's a Buffalo BV, I didn't even know about that during the game. So I hope he doesn't die, but... Rattle 20s are monsters, they're killing the Conquerors there. I mean, this is... It's kind of one that I stayed in as a bit of a joke, but... I figured why not. Hawk Pip 2's double stacked because that's how much income I had. Look at that. 140 points per double stack, and they're just going out, seeing what they can do. Ooh, somebody run. Nice. Not enough to kill, but nice. And the idea was, if I can panic them with just a straight drive down here, maybe they'll have to focus their artillery on that again, or do something else kind of crazy. And I mean, I'm losing some vehicles, I'm losing some stuff. They have Specialist Guru on here, it's not exactly friendly. And, I mean, Chaparral's that far forward is not really what you want either, but we're bumping and grinding, and I get a little bit of an idea. So, you can see some OH-6Ds headed over. These guys, of course, just 30 points apiece, and FFAR rocket pods are pretty good. 2HE, it's not, you know, it's nothing to write home about. But it'll damage light vehicles, things like CVs, for example. And after, yep, here's the next round. Look at that. That's cold. I think that was probably 2 RD pieces firing there, not the full 4. But, I mean, even with all those losses, I was kind of surprised by how much headway we're making. So KF-16C, gotta be wrapping around looking for that 21 BIS. I'm not really sure. I guess called in as a rocket pod plane. It's a little expensive for that, in my opinion, but yeah, we take it down. Not too bad. And here's the plan. These guys are gonna go over. And remember those Peace Pheasant 1s that I had earlier? They're gonna see some use. I think that's the best way of putting it. I mean... Look, if we're playing No Holds Barred, then we're gonna play No Holds Barred, and you get what you get. Oh man, yeah, that's not ideal. Oh wait, hold on, close range? No close range TGM. Not on Shikies though. They should do some decent work. Some of my favorite tanks in the game, honestly. So KF-16Cs headed over, and I was just trying to chase that PU out of here. I wanted to clear the air a little bit, make them kind of engage me if they could, and if not, then I would at least see that before we get everything else going over. And the OH-60s will need a little bit of time. You can tell, by the way, that had the game gone on longer and had Canadian gotten over here, I mean, there's nothing in golf. This is why we would have still had a chance. they spent so much on their base. I mean, there's going to be lots of FOB, there's going to be lots of artillery, that even what we had surviving would be enough to take a relatively forward position. And the whole game would be about whether or not we could counterfire them before they start just taking their toll over time. But even here, HC Abrams were clearing out their zone in Delta, which is a little bit goofy, and I'm just calling in more, because why not? My Hawk Pips are just trying to kill Akulas and things like that. Heavy emphasis on the air power. And here we are, Peace Pheasants, hopping around there trying to circle, and I split the OH-60s. Now, I'm not sure why he left, but I think that might have been an Alt F4 as soon as he saw the stuff headed for their spawn, but don't really know. Peace Pheasant 1 trying to come in. We spot Uragans, we spot lots right down here in that valley, and a BMP-1K. Now, unfortunately, a bit of a misfire there on my Peace Pheasant 1. He was fired at position, so he should have been able to drop, but not quite able to get it. And the rest of these, I mean, the Mi-35 is going to be a little bit rough if I can't take him out. Peace Pheasant 1 coming in. Let's get some sweet revenge here, boys. Oregon's BMP-1K. Nice. Very, very nice. Surprised the Oregon survived, honestly. But, yeah, I mean, most of my OH-60s died because I couldn't kill that helo. But we have an Oregon here, Smirch there, Oregon here, and another, well, I guess a bunch of those guys just flying around. We should have more. Where are they? Yeah, Peace Pheasant 1. And Peace Pheasant 1 coming in to follow up on that, looking for the kills on the rest of the stuff. And frankly, I was kind of surprised that not more of that had died over, like, traveling right down the pipe. Igland almost got some stuff, but Delta's ours. Echo is some serious pressure, and we decap their home. Plus, I mean, that's going to be a dead Uragan, I think. I know the Peace Pheasant 1 isn't a great bomber, but Blue Dragons doesn't have all that many choices either, so you make do with what you can, and don't complain too much. Yeah, Peace Pheasant's back in the air already. Look at this, 1, 2, 3. Constant stuff. I think I had 6 of them in my plane. Well, yeah, 6 in the plane tab, 2 16Cs, and yeah, we went negative. But I mean, look at this. Not too much actual kills there on the opener, on Bobs and Canadian stuff. So even for all that investment, every Oregon's over 100 points, and even all that investment, all that blind fire, still not the most killy. So I guess kind of surprising. On the other hand, we did alright, and frankly I came out of it laughing, which you can go out of a game like that one of two ways. You can either be upset that it happened, or you can just kind of get a chuckle and move on and hope that the next game that you have is a bit more traditional, which, I don't know. I like to keep it positive, so that's what I'm going to take away from it. Thank you all for hanging around, and we'll see you again real soon.